Hey, thanks for joining me. My name is Mad Hatta, and I'm going to be drawing another kaiju today. A kaiju is a Japanese monster. Usually, they're really huge, like Godzilla is the most popular one. My favorite, my personal favorite, is King Ghidorah because he has like three heads. I always love it when they do like mecha ones too, like Mecha Ghidorah, Mecha Kong. Those are really fun too. I've always grown up with movie monsters, and those are probably my favorite. And when my boyfriend came to me with, for my birthday, with a super awesome book on Ultraman villains, I was just like blown away. I have to draw at least one of these a day. They're so much fun. Because, they have all these different textures and weird shit poking out of them, and some of them look really goofy and silly, and they're just so much fun to draw. And if anybody that's like starting to draw that's like a kid, you should totally give them like a Godzilla book or something, because they're just, they're fun, they're cool. And I grew up always wishing I could go to like Monster Island or Skull Island. So Monster Island is the location that Godzilla and all the beasts are put on. Skull Island is where King Kong is from, which now everybody knows since that movie just came out a while ago, which I need to see. It's on my list. But yeah, I definitely wanted to draw another one. I think there, God, there's so many of them too. Like especially for Ultraman, for this show. So it's a kids show, and I don't know how often they aired it, but it's been done for like years and years, and I think they kept it going, kind of like Power Rangers. But the whole book is really fascinating because you can tell these fucking awesome badass artists. You can tell they have like the technical skill, but you can also tell they're like under a deadline because you see like them use crayons, markers, like maybe even Crayola markers kind of looking style, and they're just doing it on like any kind of paper they can because they have to come up with like a monster of the week like every week, or for however many days they worked on it throughout the week. But like you can feel that scramble to like make up monsters and make them unique and different each time. And I don't know, that's just like admirable to me. Like I admire it. It's cool. Like I couldn't imagine having to like pump out so many monsters. Like I don't even think I'm creative enough for that. So kudos to those guys. I applaud ye, Ultraman monster staff. It's cool. I have this toy. He kind of looks like Godzilla. He's got like almost like a T-Rexy vibe, but he has this really tiny head. I think I'm gonna do that one next. That one's pretty silly. This one, I strayed from like the original design just because, I don't know, sometimes I'll get in the mood and I decide I want to do something different, and that's okay. Why keep shit the same? Like, who cares? If you listen to my last art cast, you learned that, I just kind of don't give a shit about form or just making things look really polished. I think that's a lot of pressure, and I use art to be more creative, and I definitely have my times where I'm practicing, and like I'll practice hands. Like after I drew this, I was like, oh man, I should practice hands again. But that's stuff I do off screen. Like, people don't really like to watch their favorite team warm up. I mean, some people do, but like, I do practice and things like that. But I mean, I'm not trying to be like Ash, like, gotta be the best. And that's something that I see all the time. And I just always want to stress, like, hey, just do you, have fun, draw some monsters, draw some weird shit, like, like an outhouse with swamp legs, or, whatever you can think of. That's actually a final figure I have, is an outhouse, which I totally love. I think it's super cool. But yeah, right now I'm just kind of finishing up the figure. I add these little details here onto the leg and the foot that are totally gonna get lost because I reach into my supplies and originally I was going to trace this with a Sharpie, just have really bold lines, and then use a light box and lightly trace it over watercolor paper, and then do a watercolor piece. That was the plan initially. But then I ended up reaching over and I ended up getting this is like the best part about this piece right here. He's just kind of like peeing. I thought that'd be funny. But no, I reached over and I was gonna just outline it in like this dark purple really quick. But I ended up accidentally grabbing this gold color and I just really liked the way it looked. And I was just like, you know what? I'll keep it a short stream. Outline it in gold. Why not? The only thing that sucks though is that the camera doesn't really pick up the gold when I use it. See, oh, there I am. Using the gold copper. Yeah, you can't really pick up the shininess of the gold. It's pretty bright. I really like it. The only thing I didn't like about it is when I went back to erase my lines, it would immediately pick up the gold, which sucked. And that's not good. That's mostly why I use Sharpie, is because, after I erase it, the ink's definitely going to stay there, but after using the metallic, I'm guessing whatever's making it shiny is lifting up. So, I'm probably going to have to use, if I do gold, like, or any kind of metallic outlining, I'm probably going to have to use inks. But that's cool. I mean, I have, like, gold foil and gold ink, so I'm not tripping on that. And yeah, here I am outlining the armor. I was thinking about doing like more heavy shading, but I don't know. I mean, I still might trace it and make a watercolor. Who knows? But once I'm like done with the piece, or I feel like I'm done and I get up and I leave, there's like a 97% chance I'm not gonna ever work on it again. And I have like all these half done pieces, which is terrible. Terrible habit. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll go back and color it. Who knows? The fact that I can't erase the lines, because that will mess up the gold, is probably going to keep me from coming back to this piece. But that's okay, because I have a shit ton of paper. I have a ton of references. It's totally fine. I'll just move on to something else. And sometimes that's what you gotta do, like, when you don't plan things out enough, that's what's gonna happen. And you're gonna make mistakes, and sometimes you just gotta start over, and that's why you plan out. But I just didn't really care, because I just wanted to, like, scratch that itch, where you just immediately like want to start on something, or like let's say you want to just start going in on detail, or you just want to start coloring or rendering. Like sometimes I'm like that, like I don't want to start a project from scratch and I just want to like do tiny details or make patterns, or sometimes I just feel like coloring. So like in this case I kind of just, I don't know, I'll I'll keep you guys posted if I move forward with it. But yeah, okay, so this is me trying to put in all those tiny details with this marker, which was totally impossible. Like, it was just really hard to do. Like, if anybody uses regular size Sharpies, you're gonna know they're pretty thick. And they have like the tinier ones, but to be honest, I don't like using those. I prefer using other stuff like microns or ink brushes, something that's more precise. And you always hear people say about Sharpies that they're not, you can't, God, what's that term? Like, you can't catalog them. They're not going to stand the test of time, which is true. They fade, and they fade to this, like, really ugly purple. So that's why I always suggest, if you're going to do Sharpies, intend to use them to, like how I was doing it. Like, I was going to use it as a light box to see the figure better and trace it easier. But yeah, I don't really use Sharpies for like anything important. Usually just for outlining. I don't know where I was going with that. Whatever. Moving on. If you hear dishes being washed in the background, just ignore it. Cool, and I'm almost done with this piece. I'm just going to go ahead and outline it. And I feel like adding a little bit of thickness to the lines kind of brings the figure out. Especially since it's on white paper. I mean, if I was doing this as an actual piece, I probably would make like a gradient background with like a circle gradient going to the monster, and probably make the lines a little bit thicker. Like just the outline that I'm doing right now. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. I really love it when people can stop by and like, just watch me draw or listen to me while they draw, because that's what I like to do. I'm a really social artist, so, feel free to hit me up if you have any suggestions on what to draw, or, if you ever want to like art jam, just let me know. All right? Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Hey, thanks for joining me. My name is Mad Hatta, and I'm going to be drawing another kaiju today. A kaiju is a Japanese monster. Usually they're really huge, like Godzilla is the most popular one. My personal favorite, is King Ghidorah, because he has like 3 heads. I always love it when they do like mecha ones too, like Mecha Ghidorah, Mecha Kong. Those are really fun too. I've always grown up with movie monsters, and those are probably my favorite. And when my boyfriend came to me with, for my birthday, with a super awesome book on Ultraman villains, I was just like blown away. I have to draw at least one of these a day. They're so much fun.